Should we say cheers?
Okay, let's try. I will get rid of the spoon. Because it's coffee actually. So welcome to Tea Time with Nerissa and Prisca. Hi, I'm Nerissa.
And I'm Prisca.
Last time we talked about quarter-life crisis and midlife crisis in the US, which are quite different from what we have here in China, where people get anxious about their marriage when they turn 30.
And we also talked about different types of TV and reality shows. We learned different terms such as drama, sci-fi, and sitcom.
上一期呢，我跟 Prisca 讨论了一些关于年龄焦虑的问题。那我们也同时讨论到了最近非常火爆的电视剧《30而已》这些词在英文当中怎么说。如果你感兴趣的话，就来观看我们上一期的视频吧。
And today we're talking about financial independence in the US and in China.
今天呢，我们会讨论一下在美国和中国年轻人的经济压力的问题。
Do you make money early in your life?
Definitely. So for me, when I was 16, I got my first job as a math tutor. And many students in high school start to work a part-time job at around that age, at 16 years old.
Wow, that's very early.
Yes, they're in high school. Usually it's 11th grade or junior year at that time.
Wow, I don't think Chinese high schoolers have time to do that part-time job because their parents will pay everything for them.
Yeah, that's definitely different for students in the US. They don't get as much from their parents.
What American high schoolers do for their part-time job?
I would say some typical jobs would include working at like a fast food restaurant chain or working at a grocery store, doing some working as scanning and bagging. I think there are other tutors like I was and things like that.
I heard you mentioned a job called bagging. What's that like?
So at the grocery store, when you're checking out and you have a person who's scanning your items, the person who works the register takes your money. But after that, there's a separate person, a bagger, who takes the grocery items and puts them into your grocery bags for you.
I know what a cashier is. So a cashier will scan your item and take your money. But there's another person in the register desk to bag your things.
Exactly. They bag your things and they put it into your cart for you as well.
How much do they earn for that job?
So all of these jobs that I mentioned that you get when you're kind of 16 years old, they make minimum wage. So kind of like the lowest amount that you could make legally.
So if you can earn money at a very young age, then how do you manage your money? Do you give your money to your parents?
Ooh, never. Obviously, if you're the one making the money, you want to be keeping it, you want to be using it for yourself. So around the age, you will also get a credit card and open up your own bank account around 16. And so that you are taking care of your own money, you're building a credit score and all that good stuff, being independent.
So students can have their first credit card when they are 16. That's very young.
Exactly. It is young. You need to remember to pay your credit card once a month. And also be careful how much you use on your credit card because you need to eventually pay all of that back.
That's a lot of responsibility. So is there anyone who can teach you all those things?
I think you really learn as you go. And I'll say for myself, the more like mistakes that you make, like, I shouldn't have spent that much. From those mistakes, that's kind of how you figure it out, mostly on your own.
Okay, I think that's a really good way to help teenagers grow. But in China, the things are totally different. So before you go to college, you need to deal with the college entrance examination, which is a really big issue in China. And parents do not want you to waste your time on those tiny financial issues. They just give you pocket money. I think very few students in China have their credit card when they're in college.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. That's very different. I think at least by college, almost everyone has it at that point in the US.
So let's look at some new terms.
Perfect. So our first term that we have is minimum wage, which I mentioned before. It is the lowest hourly wage that is legally required by the state. So it's different for every state, and Los Angeles is at $14 and New York City is at $15 per hour.
好，那我们今天的第一个词组呢，叫做 minimum wage， 最低工资的意思。在美国呢，就是每个州会有一个固定的最低的工资额度，每个州是不一样的。比如说像洛杉矶呢，就是$14每个小时。那纽约呢就是$15每个小时，纽约会稍微高一点点啊，因为纽约的这个生活成本也比较高。
Yep. And then next up we have the word bagging, or the bagger, who is the worker at the register who puts all of the groceries into the bags for you. And they also actually learn to put, like certain items go at the bottom, certain items go at the top, and they put it in your cart for you afterwards.
所以我们刚刚学到了一个词呢，叫做 bagging。这是一个很有趣的工作啊，在超市的收银台的位置，他们会把这个顾客买的东西一个一个放到袋子里面。Okay, Prisca, so does bagging sound the same with the other word like bagging?
Oh, very good question. They're one letter apart. Begging is B-E-G, so versus bagging is with an A, bagging, B-A-G. Nice. Our last word is fast food restaurant chain. So this is a restaurant chain. Some of the ones that we might know are McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, Dunkin' Donuts, which are common places for young students to work at as their first job, where they will do things like serving, cleaning, washing, cash register stuff.
那刚刚 Prisca 呢给我们介绍了另外一个工作，就是在快餐店打工。你可以在里面端盘子、打扫卫生，也可以盘子。你也可以做 cash register， 就是你可以在里面做收银员啊。那这些工作在美国都是很常见的，对于学生的一个兼职工作。We both have Burger King, Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's. Actually, fast food restaurant chain is a big international business, right? I think in China, we can also do like part-time jobs in those fast food restaurant chain, but it's just not as popular. After all the students get into college, do they still do part-time jobs?
Definitely, absolutely. So after you start college, that's when you do different jobs, usually on your college campus. So there's a little bit more variety in jobs that you can have, maybe like office work, like a cafeteria, different bookstores, things like that would be included.
Wow. So how about the pay? Is it better?
I think it's about the same, where it's just minimum wage. And if you go to a college that's, in a different state, the minimum wage kind of might be different. But for the most part, you're still at the bottom of the chain, still getting the minimum wage amount.
So for Chinese university students, what I heard is they will do a lot of volunteer job, especially you want to go to a big business to do volunteer job or internship. You're not getting paid. And it's acceptable in China because students are not expected to earn money.
I think in the US, there are still some unpaid internships as well. But for the most part, money is the main goal of working an internship or working anything, really. So in the US, when you get your first job, you start to become more financially independent. And even as you get a different job in college, you're slowly taking more and more steps to become completely independent financially. So you're making your own money and your living is all on your own. And this eventually leads up to buying your own home or apartment when you get married.
So you have to pay for your own house after you married?
Usually you it is a lot of pressure, but you do split it with whoever you marry, so that helps a little bit, but definitely a lot of money to think about.
Okay, so in China that's different because parents normally pay for your first house for young couples. Maybe it's more responsible for you to saving up for your children's house for a young couple. So
the pattern is just a little bit different then.
Yeah. 那我们今天学习了美国的年轻的学生他们是如何自己赚钱的，因为我们上一期提到呢，中国的年轻人其实会有关于年龄的焦虑。那对于美国的年轻人来说，年龄的焦虑不是很要紧，但是他们会有经济上的压力，因为他们很早就要学会自己赚钱。
我们今天也学到了一些非常有用的表达啊，比如说 minimum wage 啊，在美国对于学生来说，你们做的兼职工作就会拿到这个州的这个最低工资。我们还聊到了一个非常有趣的兼职工作，叫做 begging， 就是你可以在超市里面给别人装袋。
那最后一个 fast food restaurant chain 快餐店，那这也是一个很好的对于中国和美国年轻人想要去打工的一个场所的选择。
Great, so we hope that you learned something new with us today. Next time, we're going to have a special episode about the current events going on in the US and in China regarding the TikTok, Zoom, and WeChat bans. So we hope that you will join us then.
那下一期呢，我们会聊一个很火热的话题啊，就是大家有听说最近美国禁止了在国内的 Zoom 的一个新的运营，也禁止了 TikTok 和 WeChat， 就是我们说的抖音和微信在于美国的一个运营。那我们下一期就会聊一下Prisca 和我是如何看待这件事情的，那中国和美国的大学生们是如何看待这件事情的。Okay, thank you for joining us today on Tea Time with Nerissa and Prisca.
See you next time. Bye.
I hope I can speak English as well as you. Okay, I just forgot how to say that in Chinese. You cannot help me with this. What should we say? You know, my English has gone bad.
Oh, because you're not using it that much.
Yeah.